What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dirty Degens. I'm your host, Josh, and today I have a big update video for you, not only about Boy the Bear, but also about Big Red. So strap in because this one's going to get a little wild. There's a lot to go over. So let's jump right into Boy the Bear because today there was a huge spaces that was over an hour long with over 255,000 listeners. And I'm going to sum it up for you so that you don't have to go and listen to it. But I suggest that you still do because there is even more in there that I am not going to go over. And it was a fantastic talk as well. So I think it's important that you do take a listen, but I'm going to break down all the big details for you right now. Hopping in, you can see here that OT actually was nice enough to host this spaces today for Boy the Bear. And like I said, it did get over 255,000 listeners to tune in. And that's pretty crazy, if I may say so myself. And I've been around a lot of spaces for a long time. But there was a lot of alpha that was dropped in here. So I definitely want to go over that with you. One of the big things that was talked about is actually the arena. Everybody wants to know how they can get a piece of the pie, how they can get in, and what they have to do in order to be accepted. And we've got some big news for you because one of the 5 tiers of those 1,400 applicants are actually going to be users on the arena that are engaging with Boy the Bear, Boy Club members, and just in general, posting on the arena and engaging, talking about Boy the Bear and things like that. So what's really important now is that first off, you go into the link in the description, you get your arena account, and you start engaging. Once you do that, though, you need to make sure that you do have 0.5 AVAX in your arena wallet so that if you do secure the allocation, you're ready to hop right in. So that's a big thing. Get on the arena, use your same Twitter account that you're already using on Boy the Bear's website and engage. Quality engagement over everything. Don't just go around spamming. That really doesn't do any good for anybody and it just looks bad. So quality over quantity. It's important that you add value to the conversation when you're talking about Boy the Bear. Now, that's not all I want to talk about with Boy the Bear because there was actually a lot more. So we're talking about those 1,400 spots that are up for grabs for Boy the Bear. Now, there are 100 Boy Club members, right? In that top 100 Boy Club. And each member actually has the ability to pick up to 5 applicants. So we can all pick up to 5 if we choose to do so. And that's why it's important to continue engaging on the arena and on X. Stay involved. And remember, quality is most important because all of the Boy Club members are keeping their eyes peeled, watching what people are posting, watching what people are creating, so that when it does come time, we're able to make the best decision we possibly can of who deserves to be involved in this ecosystem. Because Boy the Bear is just not a meme token. That's not it. It's going to be a whole flourishing ecosystem. And to kick that ecosystem off, Boy the Bear is actually launching a children's book that will have 200,000 copies distributed around the world. Now, if you think about this for a second, this is actually the same approach that Pudgy Penguins took before they launched their token. They've got plushies and things like that in stores all around the world. They became a household name before a token. That way, they've got tons of visibility. Their gifts generate tens of millions of views a month. Some of them are in the billions. So they just have tons of awareness, tons of recognition. Then when they create a token, it's much easier to onboard people in the space or in Web 2 in general because they have that recognition factor. So this is actually going to be really important to the success of Boy the Bear because getting those eyes on the project is incredibly important. So it's a very big deal for sure. Now, everybody is wondering, when is the token launch? And the token launch is actually the next thing on the docket. It will be next up. That's the next big announcement to happen. And so you need to keep your eyes peeled and posted, not only to the arena account for Boy the Bear, but also to the Twitter account. And I will link that in the description below, along with the spaces from earlier that I'm sharing all this alpha from so that you can take a listen. It's important to follow those accounts and put notifications on, though, because that is where the launch will be announced. So on top of following the Twitter account, make sure you're keeping an eye on your application status within the website so you know exactly what you should be doing. Now, of course, after the token launch, that's when things are going to start getting interesting. And they're going to start getting interesting because that's when the utilities will be announced and start rolling out. And this is going to be very important. That's when all the boy club members are going to start to come together and really make this thing thrive. It is not going to be a token launch and then just die off. This is here for the long haul, and we're trying to create an entire ecosystem. And I say we because I'm in the community as well, and I'm going to do everything I can to try to push this as far as I can. Now, all of you community members, all 153,000 of you that have been trying to get approved through the application process, it's important that you continue to engage, you continue to be creative, and you have a lot of quality within your posts. Now, whatever you're doing around Boy the Bear, whether it's on X, on Arena, or anything like that, it's important that you continue to use the same X and wallet address that you used when you originally applied to Boy the Bear, because these are all the metrics that they're watching. They're not going to sit here and go through 5 different Twitter accounts or anything like that. Nobody has the time for that when there's 150,000 applicants. So stay on one account and continue to use that one account. That way, when we're looking at everybody, we can see exactly what you did and how creative you've been without jumping through hoops. This is why it's important to not try to game the system utilizing a bunch of different accounts, because then you're spreading out your capabilities instead of concentrating them into one place. And when you do that, you ultimately end up lessening your chance because you've distributed your efforts. So now if you can concentrate them and you focus on one, you're likely going to have a better chance of getting the attention and making it through. Now, the last thing I do want to talk about Boy the Bear that everybody is going to love, because like I've said several times, just this video, there's over 150,000 people that are trying to get involved in this community. And Boy the Bear does notice that. CEO notices that. He sees how much effort everybody is putting in and how bad they want to be involved in the community. So during the spaces, it was actually announced that everybody that has been getting involved will get something. So if you do not get a pre-sale allocation spot, you will still get something. Now, it's currently uncertain what that something may be, so I'm just going to let you leave that up to your imagination, and maybe you can come up with some wild things on your own, but we will be surprised with this very soon, so I'm excited for that, and I'm excited to see what everybody gets. Now, moving on to BigRed, because BigRed has had a crazy week already, and things are just starting to heat up, so it's really important that I got this video out so that I can clue you in on all the things that are happening with BigRed. Now, before I fully dive into BigRed, it's important that I let those of you know what BigRed is in case you are not aware. BigRed is in the Avalanche ecosystem and originally started out just around a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago, as a meme coin partnered with Cornell University. However, as time went on, they realized that that was not quite the best route, so they decided to actually shift it into an RWA. So now you have BigRed Stables, which is actually a licensed horse racing RWA. So this stable owns 5 horses currently and is always looking to accumulate more. And these horses race in professional circuits. And not only that, BigRed is partnered with Travis Alexander, and Travis is one of the most reputable trainers there is in the horse racing industry. He's won tons of awards. He's got over $19 million in earnings. And not only that, he's one of the most coveted trainers in the space. And he is the manager and trainer for all of the BigRed horses. And that's why everything I'm going to say after this is extremely important, because you have the first RWA horse racing project in the entire crypto space right here that is also partnered with one of the world's most successful trainers that everybody wants to work with. So what exactly is going on with BigRed and why is it so important? Well, now that it's spring, it is actually getting back into the horse racing season. You know, it's getting nicer out, so it's perfect time for the horses to get out there. And they are starting to get out there indeed. Just yesterday, we did have a race that was Beantown Babe. Unfortunately, she did place 5th, but you know the winning spots are 1 through 5th in horse racing, so she did still take home some prize money. Now, despite taking home 5th, she was actually doing incredible during the race. She spent like the first 3/4 of the race in first place, but towards the end, she started to fall a little bit behind. And that was actually because she had some stitches on her head due to getting an injury. And during the race, it bust open and impeded her ability to see. So as a result, that she did end up falling back and did not win the race. But she looked absolutely phenomenal. So we cannot wait to see her full potential when she's back at 100% health and able to get in the race again. She's not out for any extended period of time or anything like that, I don't believe. So there's no big deal here. But as that continues to heal, she's going to do even better. And not only that, but it was a couple weeks since she had her race. And sometimes it takes a bit for the horses to get back into the groove of things, you know? Now, there are other horses, and there's actually 4 total races this week. 2 of them just happened this afternoon. And the first one would be Nymeria. Nymeria had a qualifiers race. And what this means is that they're qualifying to get into a future race where there is a prize. So today, these 2 races did not have any prize money that happened, but it sets them up and puts them in a position to race in the future where there will be prize money involved, or stakes, as you may call it. Now, Nymeria did amazing, and Nymeria is one of the best horses within the stable that Big Red has. And Nymeria did get second, so that's a fantastic thing. The trainer was saying how amazing she was doing as well. So really looking forward. I think soon we will actually have a stakes race announced for Nymeria. So definitely looking forward to that. And then the other one was actually Lachlan Hanover. And Lachlan did finish third. However, during these qualifier races, they're really not trying to push the horse as hard as they can. What they're trying to do is get them used to the track again, get them out there working, and prove what they can do just a little bit. So during Lachlan's entire race, he was doing very well, had a strong showing, and the driver didn't actually have to really push the horse at all. The horse just wanted to do it, which is an incredibly good sign. And Lachlan still finished third. Now, as a result, because of how well Lachlan's been doing and how much attention is on Lachlan, Lachlan's actually been invited to a stakes series. So this is a series with a $50,000 purse overall and a total of $750,000 in prize money involved. So Lachlan will be getting into this stakes series, and that's definitely going to be exciting. So really looking forward to that. Lots of races to come for Big Red for sure. Now, speaking of the races, Big Red does turn all of the races into a community thing every single time they happen. They have watch parties in the Telegram, they stream them to Twitter, and not only that, they're doing giveaways now or contests before the races too. So if you go into the Telegram, you can actually guess what the finish time will be for the horses, and if you get it right, you win $100 in Big Red. However, yesterday, nobody did get it right. So next week, it's actually going to be a $200 prize. So this is going to go on Monday when the next race happens. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But that next race is actually Kinda Lucky Lindy, which is yet another horse that Big Red has in the stable. This race is going on Monday, March 31st. And right now you can see here, Kinda Lucky Lindy is in the 6th spot on this sheet. And the odds are 4-1. So Kinda Lucky Lindy is actually currently the 3rd favorite to win this race, at least by stakes. Now, these stakes are ever evolving. So up until the time of the race, these stakes will be fluctuating up and down all over the place. But it's really strong to see how favored Kinda Lucky Lindy is already at this time. And with Travis and Matt at the helm, training this horse and driving this horse, definitely looking for a strong showing from Kinda Lucky Lindy next week and seeing where Kinda Lucky Lindy ends up at. Definitely going to be a good race, though. Now, last but not least, one big thing did happen. Since Big Red's all involved in the horse racing industry, what really matters is the prize money at the end of the day, because that's how the community ends up getting more value out of it, right? Ultimately, the prize money is split up between NFT holders and also goes back to buybacks and burns on the chart. Not only that, but of course, a portion also has to go to taxes and covering maintenance and trainer costs, travel costs, and things like that for the horses themselves. But just yesterday, Yonkers actually announced that they are increasing all of the winnings for races at Yonkers 10 to 12%. So that means that the Open will now offer a $39,000 prize. That means that every race that happens at Yonkers, the purse is more, which means the winnings are more. And what's crazy is if you think about the economy right now and what a lot of businesses are doing, you really don't expect to see winnings being raised. So that shows you how strong the horse racing industry is for them to be able to just blanket say that all of these stakes will be raised going forward. So that's a big deal because a lot of the races that Big Red Stables does go to are at Yonkers. So this is huge because every time they place, it's going to be even more prizes than before. Okay, now lastly, the last thing I want to bring up is Big Red did have their spaces on Monday this week, and they had some announcements. And one of the big announcements is that they're getting closer to their DApp. That's going to be huge for the Big Red NFT holders and the ecosystem as a whole. whole for BigRed. And actually, one of the largest projects in the entire Avalanche ecosystem is who's involved with building their dApp. Now, who's building their dApp? It's actually Kakinyu on Avalanche. So this is one of the largest projects in the Avalanche ecosystem, and it helps show you how well connected BigRed is within the Avalanche ecosystem in order to partner up with Kak to get this done. So I'm really looking forward to this being done. I think it's going to be massive for all the BigRed holders, and it's really going to start to make people in the Avalanche ecosystem start paying attention as BigRed becomes more and more of an RWA powerhouse going forward. Now, that's about all I do have for today, but I do want to remind you that the link for the arena is in the description below, as well as the link to the spaces for BoiTheBear that happened today, also below. And of course, you'll also find a link to BigRed and BoiTheBear's Twitter in the description below as well. So if you need help finding anything, it's all right there for you. You don't have to fish for it, and you don't have to end up accidentally finding the wrong account either, because I've got you covered. So I just want to thank you all for tuning in. I hope this was helpful for you, help you save a little bit of time and keep on top of everything as best as you can. I want to wish all of you luck that are trying to get involved in the BoiTheBear presale. And of course, I want to wish the BigRed team a ton of luck for the races that are coming up. And I really can't look forward to any of these things that are going on. The Avalanche ecosystem is heating up. I think it's going to be an insane year for Avalanche because this ecosystem is just getting more and more attention, and the projects involved are just such quality. I think right now the Avalanche ecosystem is pretty heavily overlooked, and when it catches on, it's really going to catch on. So I suggest you continue paying attention, stay locked in, smash up the likes, and subscribe to this channel, because I will make sure that you can keep your finger on the pulse. Other than that, that's all I've got for you for this afternoon. I hope the rest of your day is absolutely wonderful, and I will see you next time with another video. Take care, everyone. Peace.